This morning, the Obamacare website is back up and running after crashing on Tuesday night, although Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius testified the website did not crash. She did apologize, however, something a lot of people were waiting to hear. And we're getting a clearer look at the mounting problems with the site. First, the website rollout was a virtual disaster. And CNN obtained a memo showing the administration knew of problems before the rollout. Still, the government cannot tell us how many people have signed up for new insurance. And President Obama's promise that you can keep your plan, not true for potentially millions of Americans. So, we know all of that is wrong. Now people are wondering how to fix it, how to fix things. With us now is Sean Spicer, Communications Director for the Republican National Committee. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Carol. Great to be with you.
Nice to have you here. We appreciate it. Okay, so taxpayers have spent more than $170 million already on this website. If we don't get it together and fix this thing, won't we just end up spending more money?
Well, I think the answer is yes. I think we've got a bigger problem of accountability, and we saw that on full display yesterday when the Secretary testified, when she clearly didn't know her own program and said it would have been illegal for her to sign up for it, which is patently not true, according to healthcare.gov. So you've got to wonder if they don't understand the nature of their own program. Not only how are they going to implement a website, but then how are they going to implement a healthcare system? Second, she sort of was dismissive when asked who was accountable by saying, you know, whatever. And then third, the other big point is that when she tried to redefine, well, it actually didn't crash. It was just slow.
Right.
I mean, that takes the Clinton definition of, it depends on what the definition of is, to a whole new level when you're saying it didn't crash. It was just really, really slow and no one could log on. There
were a lot of disturbing things that came out of that hearing. I guess the question now is, you keep saying they, but how about Republicans? Are Republicans interested in making these exchanges work? Do they want to fix the problems? I mean, what's the next step? What is our solution?
Well, I think since day one, Republicans have talked about putting plans in place and doing this in a way that deals with cost containment, which is what initially Obamacare was supposed to do, and provides greater coverage. And you saw Congressman Tim Griffin talk about the bill that he's a co-sponsor of, and others during the Ways and Means hearing the other day. The thing is that there is another way to do this, a way that brings more coverage to people, gives them greater choices, and drives down costs. But what we've got now is people saying, we warned you over and over again that this was a bad idea. The website is just the first step in how bad this is going to get.
But Sean, the website is up and running, and
so,
Obamacare is here to stay as long as we have a Democratic president and a Democratic Senate. So my question to you is,
but let me,
can't Republicans, I mean, they like to govern, right? They like to find solutions, right? So can they find a solution
you don't, but
to
when this goes back to the, Carol, this goes back to the old saying, when you're in a hole, you stop and you don't keep digging. Just because they implement it doesn't mean that we all go sing Kumbaya and say, hey, let's keep going down this rabbit hole. There's a point at which we can say, hey, we told you were wrong, let's go the other way because it's a better way, it's better for health care, it's better for the American people, it's better for cost as well in terms of people who have to fund it. So I don't think that you keep pouring money, good money after bad. You can say at some point, admit defeat, say we were wrong, let's different model. But clearly that would be the worst thing that could happen. We're talking about 1/6 of our entire economy, and frankly beyond the financial aspect of it, you and everyone listening knows how important good health care is, and being able to go see a doctor when you're sick, whether it's for yourself or your spouse or a family member.
That's right. And if this goes away, saying, hey, there'll still be 40 million people without insurance. I want to read you a quote from Dale Hansen, who wrote an op-ed in the Detroit News. Quote, "The problem is that as much as Republicans dislike the Affordable Care Act, it can't be fixed, improved, or changed without Republican support. Even if every Democrat coalesced around a set of solutions, nothing will happen if Republicans' only participation is, I told you so." Americans yearn for a party that can actually govern. Is Hansen right? I mean, will the Republicans just say, I told you so? This should go away?
No. This is not I told you so. It's hey, we told you so, and we have a better solution. And this is interesting because whenever Democrats have a problem with a Republican policy...
But what's your solution?
I just talked about it. What's our solution? Using private-based healthcare system to like exchanges that allow people to buy across state lines so that they can drive down costs. I mean, there's a million of them that are out there that Republicans passed in the House, frankly, that could drive down costs, create greater coverage, which is what we all want at the end of the day. So I don't think that you have to say it's Obamacare or nothing. Frankly, all Republicans are on board on something like keeping kids under 26. It's a false choice to say if you don't believe in Obamacare, there's no other solution. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but we've been down this road, and the president is not, I mean, it's just not going to happen. So, okay, let me just,
but Carol,
let me just put out one example. The healthcare exchanges.
Hold on, I got to.
What should happen to this website in a Republican view? What should happen to the website?
Well, first of all, I think you've got to bring in a real team that's accountable and can answer real questions. I mean, how many people have signed up? What's going on? What's the plan to fix it? I mean, to be talking about, you and I talked about this before, after the fact,
should we continue with the exchanges?
Of course you should fix it. Of course, well, you've got to get it right first. You have to understand the problem. But again, yes, so I think we have to fix it. We have to understand the problem, and we have to figure out so that we don't do this again. I mean, the problem right now that I see more and more is that we've got everyone going, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's a glitch. It's just a temporary problem. It's moving
I don't think
slow.
anyone's saying that right this moment.
Say, hey, absolutely. The secretary said yesterday that the site didn't go down. It was just moving slowly. If people aren't going to
I meant outside of the administration.
The problem. But who's going to fix it if not for them? I mean, you're basically saying Republicans should get involved and, quote, govern when it's the administration that won't even acknowledge that they have a problem. That's a big, big issue. So instead of putting the burden on Republicans, we might want to start putting on the burden and the accountability, frankly, on the people that said it was good to go. Day one, we're all set. This is this is going to be beautiful. Oh, and then, by the way, the first few days, just talking about it, it's so popular that that's the big problem right now. It's demand that's killing us.
Okay, so my final question, my final question is, do you foresee a time when Republicans will sit down with Democrats and both parties will try to come up with a way to fix what's wrong with Obamacare?
Not if it means throwing good money after bad. If it means Republicans sitting down with Democrats to say, okay, let's actually implement real health care solutions that allow for greater coverage and drive down costs, that could probably happen today. But I don't think that we're going to sit there and say, okay, let's just roll over and keep throwing American taxpayers' money down a hole because you guys passed this you know, a few years ago. That's just stupid.
All right. Sean Spicer, Communications Director for the Republican National Committee, thank you so much. Newsroom will be right back.
Thanks, Carol.